Welcome to the live stream. Let's get this thing started. Let's look at the crypto fear and greed index really quickly. Right now, the markets are kind of going sideways over the weekend. Right now, we're sitting at 25 in extreme fear. If we go over to Bookmap, Bookmap basically shows you where all of the liquidity is sitting on Bitcoin. I appreciate if you guys hit the likes and subscribe. It does help support the channel, by the way. So this is just a very quick update. If we look at the chart, if we zoom in, we can see that on the weekly time frame, we still have more liquidity at $97,000. So this suggests that we are going to eventually go up to about $97,000 on Bitcoin. But it is on the weekly time frame, so it could take weeks to months for it to happen. Hopefully, it's just a few weeks or less. But my guess is based on how slow price action has been developing, it would be a few weeks before we see something like this happen. And then if you go over to the daily time frame, you can see that we still have a lot of liquidity down at 89.7. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. Usually we go down to touch the lower liquidity, especially in a bear market. And you usually go to wherever there's the closest liquidity. Right now, that'd be at 89,700. So you still have liquidity up here on the weekly at 97K. But this, to me, suggests you're going to come down to $89,700. Play around a little bit. Maybe in a month or so, we can go retest $95,000, $97,000. This is not set in stone. This is just where all of the liquidity lies on Bookmap. So usually, I would say about 90% of the time, you go to where there is the most liquidity. And right now, short term, that would be at 89.7. After that, we could maybe go, but maybe then they'll build liquidity back up here on the daily to, $95,000, $97,000, $100,000. But for right now, the biggest chunk of liquidity is about $89,700. So that is just the unfortunate thing. It is what it is, right? So it kind of is what it is. Let's go over and look at Bitcoin and kind of break down what's going on. On the daily time frame, you can see that we're kind of still in this upsloping channel. I did say in my Bitcoin update, though, if Bitcoin loses $88,200, I would say this macro uptrend is over. What looks good to me is the RSI's oversold. The bad thing is if you zoom into the money flow, you still have that sell signal, no buy signal, and money flow is only at 54 out of 100. So money flow in the 12 hours still suggests, even though the stock RSI is oversold, the money flow will continue to come down. That would make sense along with the fact that the daily time frame is still overbought. So, it is what it is. It just doesn't look like we want to. It doesn't look fantastic to me. So if I go down to the 12-hour time frame, it does look like I said, we already looked at that. So if I go down to the 8-hour time frame, I still see this. You got the move down. I was hoping that was a falling wedge, but now the fact that you're going sideways after a move to the downside, that creates a bear flag. And I said sometime by the time I'm going live, I expect us to be in this box. Now I probably should have put the box over to the left more, but the price is still the same as where the box was drawn. It's just I didn't put the box far enough to the left, if that makes sense. So right now, I guess this price action would be in about 12 more hours, or maybe tomorrow at this time. But either way, the price is still the same as where the box is drawn. So I was predicting we'd be between $90,000 and $90,500. The bear flag measure move is $86,200. The 6-hour time frame, I will say the 6-hour time frame is trying to get some kind of bounce on the stock RSI. The 4-hour time frame, same thing, and now it's rolling over. So I still see more downside on Bitcoin and on a lot of altcoins. If Bitcoin continues to go to the downside, then obviously your altcoins like Shiba Inu, Pepe are gonna take the tumble as well. So it doesn't look fantastic to me right now for what we're seeing in the charts of Bitcoin. It just doesn't look great. It looks like we're going to take this tumble. It looks like, if anything, this was a bearish retest. And I also saw this was a skeptical one, but I see a left shoulder, a head right there, and now the right shoulder it's not the cleanest head and shoulders. I'll get rid of that drawing, but I still see this as a bearish retest, and you are dumping to the downside. Like you're poking at the bottom. Maybe not even a bearish retest. You're just poking at the bottom of the bear flag. You look at the 3-hour time frame. That's the stock RSI is just wonky. Also, when it just goes in the middle like this, you get a move up, then the stock RSI goes sideways in the middle without going all the way overbought. That's also a lack of volume. The 2-hour time frame, same thing as a 1-hour and 3-hour and 4-hour. If you look at the 1 hour right now, it does look like it's bearish. I mean, the 1 hour lost at 200-day moving average. On any asset, when that happens, you can expect the 2 hour to be the next stop. So right now, I'd be very surprised. I'm sorry to say, if you're a bull, I'd be very surprised if we don't retest $89,600 for the price of Bitcoin. I'd be shocked if that does not happen. And to be fair, that's only $600 away. If I jump down to the 1 hour time frame, we can see that the 1 hour is below the 200. We're struggling to get any kind of move to the upside. The half-hour time frame right now, it just doesn't look great. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. You're well below the 200 on the 33-minute time frame. It looks like to me this is a bear flag. You could even draw a smaller bear flag inside the larger bear flag, but there's no need to. Either way, you're breaking to the downside, and you would take it from the last high to the last local low. Even the smaller time frame as you move, bear flag on the half-hour time frame when you zoom in. So the problem is you have a bear flag inside of a bear flag. That would take you exactly to the support at $88,200. So I would be surprised if we do not get a move to the downside to about $88,200. By the way, if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know and I'll look at them. Appreciate the follow, Rodney. Appreciate the likes as well. It helps support the channel. I'd be surprised if we don't get a measure move to about $88,200. It just looked bearish to me, and it looks like that's going to be the most likely scenario. Zooming into the 15-minute time frame, I mean, it pretty much looks to me the same as the half-hour time frame. Money flow, nothing special. 10 minutes, not oversold yet. So I would not look for the bounce. It's very close, but it's not oversold. Money flow never got another. Well, you got the green dot back here. Yeah, it just doesn't look great. 8 minute is making more bearish engulfing candles. If anything, that was a rising wedge on the smaller time frames. I'm not going to pollute this chart with too many drawings on the smaller time frames, but you get my drift that even like the 7 minute, 8 minute look bearish. You try to get a green candle right there on the 7 minute. It just failed miserably on the next 7 minute candle. The 6 minutes looks bad. You're below the 200, which is this yellow line here. The 5 minute is below the 200. The 4 minutes probably below. I bet even the 1 minute is below the 200-day moving average. So at the end of the day, I see more downside than upside for Bitcoin. It looks just bad. It looks bad. So I'm not quite sure what else to say. It doesn't look fantastic. It looks like we're going to get more of a move to the downside than to the upside. And that is kind of what I see going on. Thank you, Lewis L., for joining the Telegram. We have a Telegram group, by the way. If you guys want to join, that link to join is in my description on TikTok and on YouTube. Yeah. So, over to Shiba. I said at 4 p.m. we moved below 85. That didn't happen. Then earlier today, I took a very small position compared to the one I took yesterday. That we'd be between 85 and 90. That seemed like a lock. Mainly based on the fact that the 4 hour time frame is still going to the upside a little bit. But I think this chart looks horrible. You just lost the 1 hour 200-day moving average on Shiba Inu. The 2 hour, I'd be surprised if in the next 24 to 48 hours we're not at 80 or below. I would be surprised. Now, I'm not going to say a day because I expected us to get a dump today, and we're basically the same price we were at yesterday, to be fair. We actually are, and that's really unfortunate. But it is what it is. So, yeah, I see more downside if you give it time, especially probably into next week. We hit the high 70s for Shiba Inu. That's my bearish prediction on Shiba Inu. But that's also my point of view and my thoughts on it, based on looking at it from a neutral perspective, because I'm shorting it right now on Blowfin. I was expecting us to lose 85 today. That did not happen. So even though I'm bearish, I'm giving you what I think is going to happen next. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think you're going to lose 85, for maybe a day. So maybe sideways price action for a day, but because Shiba Inu is not bouncing off of the 200-day moving average on the 1 hour time frame, makes me pretty bearish. It suggests to me that we're going to continue lower. So we'll see what happens, but Shiba Inu looks bearish. I looked at Pepe earlier. That looks bearish as well. Kind of the same situation. The 1 hour lost at 200. The 2 hour right now is about to lose at 200. I'm targeting 53 for Pepe. So, like, a lot of these altcoins that looked fantastic a week ago, it looks like they're going to finally have an altcoin season, are struggling mightily just a few days later. It doesn't look great to me. I appreciate you guys hit the likes. It does help support the channel. So, that's my update, guys. Bitcoin looks bad. lack of volume. I expect Bitcoin to go down to minimum 89.6, which is only $600 or $700 away, and then a lot of these altcoins can follow as well. So that's my update. If you guys have requests for other coins, let me know. But with that being said, that's a very quick update of what I wanted to talk about. The market looks like trash, and it doesn't look like we're bouncing like I expected us to. So that's a request. That's just kind of where I stand with the price of all these assets, and I don't know what else to say. It looks like Bitcoin's going to take a tumble lower. I'm going to zoom back out to the 1 hour time frame, so I'm not crazy zoomed in. But if you give this time, I think by Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday midday at the latest, this is going to be somewhere around here. So I expect this to fill out. I would say probably by tomorrow, we're probably around 88.7. 24 hours from now, I'm pretty sure we'll be in this box. So that's my prediction. I'll leave that there for Monday, or for Sunday, I mean. But that's my prediction for about 24 hours from right now at 3 p.m. Central Time. I expect something like that to happen. I'll make a YouTube short on this if this does happen, but that's kind of where I expect the price to be tomorrow about the same time, in 24 hours or so. So that's my update. It's not great, but that's what I see going on for the price of the cryptos. If you guys have requests, let me know. I know that there's no one watching to speak of. I don't know why. To be fair, I am going live earlier than normal, but I don't know. But I still feel like there should be more than 2 people watching. Either way, people can rewatch it on YouTube because I'm live on YouTube and TikTok. So that's my update on the market. It looks like it's going to take a tumble to the downside. As far as other altcoins to go, wow, WET got annihilated. I was kind of waiting for a big dump on WET for weeks now, and it finally just happened. Interesting. Yeah, the 1 hour lost to 200. The higher time frames were never above it. The 1 hour lost to 200. Yeah, that looks bad. And I said, hey, you finally hit the measure move of that one. Came up a little bit, made, like, I would say this was another bear flag. And WET got to move to the downside. So, yeah, and WET's now hit that measure move of this most recent bear flag that I just saw now, which was what, 14.6? So, wait, no, that actually have not hit the measure move of this bear flag yet. So I'll draw this support here, but that's where I'd expect it to go, 14.6. And frankly, you could stay in this short as long as you stay below the 1 hour 200. Stop loss at 17.6, take profit 14.6. Although, if you're getting it now, you would probably want to take profit lower. So to me, yeah, unless you did a scalp. But either way, I see 14.6 being the next target for WET. You can trade this on some exchanges, but that's what I see going on right now for the price of WET. No one probably knows what that is. That's just what I see going on. And then as far as anything else is concerned, like Jasmine doesn't look great. Like, what is this price action? This is awful price action. I mean, now you're below 1 penny. If you're below 1 penny, I see the next support being, 77% of a penny. That's what I see. You could even raise it there, but no, I see about 77 being the next target. So that's Jasmine in a nutshell. Mostly just look really, really bad. I'm just checking if there's anything people requested. Tesla, I'm not loving Tesla on the 4 hour. It's trying to flirt with the 200. Now, I do think Tesla's in a bull run because you're above the daily 200. So if you just longed it when you got above it at 332, you'd be in the money quite a bit. Stop loss could be 370. But at the end of the day, Tesla looks okay in the higher time frames. That is a higher low on the daily. So Tesla looks good. So like some things outside of crypto look good. But as far as crypto is concerned, like maybe it's time to maybe not long term, but short term, maybe it's better to be in the stock market than in Bitcoin. I don't know. That's not financial advice. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying it might not be the horrible idea. That daily time frame on it has a falling wedge measure move on Tesla of $537. That's something to watch. As long as you stay above 414, I don't see why in due time you can't hit 537. So Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. The trend is your friend till the end right now on a lot of altcoins and in Bitcoin. The trend is not your friend. The trend is to the downside. Unless you're shorting, you're probably losing money. So this is not financial advice, but I would either be in shorts or be not in the market at all. The market looks bad to me, and it looks like Bitcoin's going to take a tumble lower. That's all I got. Hope you have a great one. I'll be back live Tuesday night as always. Until then, have a great one. I'll let you guys know in the Telegram group what time I'll go live on Tuesday, but I'll be back live Tuesday night. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great weekend. Enjoy some football tonight. Adios. Also, Barefoot, thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. I gotta skedaddle now. Thank you for stopping in. Sorry that you missed most of the show, though.